Hello from Aberdeen in Scotland. We are delighted you're joining us for the first commentary match of the 2024 World Mixed Curling Championships. Today's match will see Japan take on Denmark. Japan team we can see is led off by TOKOYODA Chihiro, HASEGAWA Hiroki, HASE Hinako and ICHITSUBO Shun. They will be playing the red stones. And for Denmark we shall see Christian KARGER, Signe SCHACK, SGOLDBECK and Karolina JENSEN. They'll be playing the yellow stones. Seven teams in this group. There we can see that Japan have already qualified even without this match yet. Denmark just about on the edge of extinction from this group. They need to win and then some other results across the rest of the group to go their way to have a chance. Norway, Netherlands already qualified. There are also 5 other games alongside our feature game today. Across the 6 sheets we can see Puerto Rico making their debut in a championship against India, Switzerland against Germany, Poland versus Ireland, our game Japan-Denmark, Nigeria versus Italy, and then Romania versus Hong Kong, China. A lot of teams still in contention to qualify, so all these games do remain vital. We are just about underway. Rules of play in mixed curling is that it's an 8-end game, so 6 ends minimum. There'll be one 60-second timeout available to consult and meet with coaches. The free guard zone and the no-take rule are in place for this championship. Teams are just doing their second of the draw shot. So we will just see how that one finishes. Good throw by Christian KARGER there. Looks like that might just be enough to seal the deal. Umpires will be measuring those and we'll determine get going. My name's Alan Chalmers and alongside me in the commentary box for this match and all the commentary matches this week is Rona Howie. Good afternoon, Rona. Just turned midday, I think.
Yeah, good afternoon, Alan. Exciting stage in this championship. Last day of round robin. Still a lot for these teams to play for.
Yeah, it's a big event in terms of numbers. The World Mix. There's 39 teams here, 5 groups. So the top 3 in each group will go by right, and then there'll be an extra position available for the best of the 4th place teams, I guess. So it means that the groups can remain tight, and well, maybe till tonight we actually get the clear picture of who's made the playoffs.
Yeah, so each team have had their pre-game practice, and they play one clockwise and one anti-clockwise, draw to the button, and the closest will get last stone advantage in the first end. Japanese looking quite happy and relaxed.
Yeah, both teams looking fairly relaxed. I think it's quite a long week this. They did start last Saturday. It's averaging out 1 game a day, lots of time to fill. It's quite nice to probably be back on the ice actually.
And Japan know they've qualified, so it's nice for them to come into this game knowing that they've already made the next stage of the championship, but they want to have a good performance.
Finer formalities, the teams across the sheet will be introduced and then we will be underway.
Good luck and good curling. Always a good sign from the umpire.
Yeah, it means we can get going. It looks like it will be Japan who will get us going. Denmark had the better of the draw shot challenge. They get the hammer. It's our first sighting of a Japanese lead player, Tokoyoda Chihiro. Japan already with 4 wins in this group, so a very consistent week. The only game they lost to was to Norway, who remain unbeaten, so they've beaten everyone else in contention. Excellent, quite a lot of inexperienced international players on these teams, Ronan, so just settling into playing for your country must be quite daunting.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a great way for these nations to, as you said already, Alan, 39 nations competing here, so it's great that so many are getting to play on the world stage.
KARGER. All of these players are based in Copenhagen, separate ice rinks, but all in Copenhagen. This is the hardest one to pronounce, Hidovre, or something like that.
Yeah, so Christian, he has been at an international event. He's been at the European Bs just as an alternate player, but it's a good way to see how to prepare for an international event. And as you mentioned, only one game a day really here. How do you spend that downtime? You know, what do they go and do? There's a lot of sightseeing, I think, been done this week. We've seen from social media.
Yeah, there's plenty to do in the vicinity, but it's tough to do maybe every single day. Yeah, so by just learning the routine of when to eat, when to practice, when to sleep, all that sort of stuff, because you never know. In 5 years' time, you might be playing a more important world championship. So it's just getting into those routines.
So a fairly typical lead setup here. 2 stones in the house for Japan. Denmark put up their corner guard. They have got last stone. They want to try and score multiple. So looking for the hit and roll here.
Trying to hold this on the sweeper. It was a little bit of a shaky throw. Just came across the stone, let it go. Couldn't hold it on the line. And rolled off.
The only benefit there with that is it's removed it from the centre line. So open up that centre.
HASEGAWA Hiroki, number 2 in the team.
Also a bit of international experience. Played in 2 World Junior B Championships and a World Qualification event. Nicely placed.
Yep, well placed there. Trying to hit and roll across in front. They chipped the red stone behind the tee line, behind the guard. It was a bonus for them from the mistake. So that might come into play later. Signe SCHACK. Second stones. Notice maybe more in this event than the previous World Mixed is that actually quite a lot of the women players are skipping, and therefore because you do have to play alternate stones There's more women playing 2 as well, whereas traditionally I think we've maybe seen the male skip and the...
Oh, times are changing, Alan.
That's right. I need to catch up, don't I?
You do.
No, I think it's intriguing, and the Japanese team actually then change about a bit as well in terms of who's skipping and throwing those third stones. So it's many combinations now.
Just caught that too thin and rolls out.
Yep, so Denmark made the nose hit, put a little bit of pressure on Japan, hit and rolled out.
A great situation now for Denmark because that red is just back tee. If they can come round the guard and play the perfect freeze. And Signe, she's no stranger to Aberdeen. She was the alternate player for Denmark last year at the European Championships that were held in Aberdeen.
Yeah, this time last year, Aberdeen almost consecutive weeks. It felt like the whole of the world's mixed and then the whole of the Europeans.
So line's looking good. What's the weight? Just a fraction heavy.
Yeah, bounces out a little. Would like that to stay more in line. Bounces out.
But important to stay short there.
Would like to hit and roll further out to the wing if they can do. They don't really want to create too much of a bucket for the yellow to freeze in there and make it difficult. The girl behind the mask is HASE Hinako.
Yeah, nicely played. So although Japan are lying 3, Denmark with the hammer here still looking for that chance to generate their 2.
Liam Goldbeck playing third stones for Team Denmark today. Youngster in the team, only 19. Really like this yellow to hang around, but again he just misses slightly and rolls out. Spurning their chances to set up their 2 in this first end, Denmark. Hinaka's taken off the mask this one just to confuse. That was a new player.
So let's leave this one top tee. Don't want to give backing for Denmark to freeze on. But looking heavy. That's a missed opportunity there for Japan. And now, the freeze round the corner guards looking very tempting for Denmark.
Freeze looks like the natural call. They're just going to play this. I think Japan would then have to follow it, and that's where the error might come from. So real good chance here. Can Liam go back, make this one? Just turn the screw a little in this end.
Sweeper standing back, plenty weight again. Oh dear. Both teams have had the pre-game practice on the sheet, and with Japan being heavy with the last, that's where Denmark can really learn from the speed that was thrown. And
yeah, really anything in that top left-hand, top right-hand corner from above, I guess, would have been hard for Japan to get out of there. Last stone thrower is ICHITSUBO Shun.
His first event representing Japan. Also slightly on the heavy side, but at least it does stop in the rings.
Yeah, just much better throw, I think. Just pull that one onto the tee line. It's a little deep.
Denmark could still play the freeze round the corner. Yep, right to there.
I think they want to try and lie short after this one. I think frozen on the red originally, they obviously weren't lying first shot, but technically that was fine. Now I think they can lie first shot.
Even if they are second, it's asking the question of Japan, do you guard your own shot or do you try to play to the second shot? But important here for Denmark just to communicate with each other about the weights thrown and try and get this draw weight nailed in the first end.
Karolina Jensen throws last stones and skips for Denmark. Probably the one player on the ice who has had a lot of international experience. Part of the Jensen dynasty out of Tandberg Curling Club. The weight is looking really nice, but just going to overcurl a little.
Really unlucky. Wanted that in for second shot, but it is third.
Yeah, and that just makes such a difference to what Japan can do with their choice of shot now.
Yeah, so ideally Japan want to guard the shot stone but also block the draw to the 4 foot for Denmark with their last stone.
Yeah, so I think about even with where the yellow stone just thrown was, parallel with that one. Right distance. The key thing is probably not to throw behind the tee. Then leave it short, and that'll still act as some kind of blocker, but don't throw it behind the tee. Don't give the Denmark the easy out.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Really well played.
Yeah, really good there.
If Denmark knows it, they could get the shot, but then they're likely to jam it on the back one and potentially leave Japan lying short. So it's really well placed. But she's going to go for it. If we're picky, Alan, I would say it was a couple of inches too far.
Yeah, I think that's right. We're trying to square them up with that yellow. It's just run a little, as I say, 2 inches, 5 centimeters further than it. But you know, that could just make the difference between this being a really tough shot and a more straightforward one. But this one has to be precise, as you say. If you come low, it looks like you would jam. Bearing in mind you've got a third counter to face. So last stone off our first end here. Jensen has a double takeout to score. Oh. So makes the double and keeps the yellow. Great result.
Yeah, really great shot.
Really good. You can see just the risk of that one over curling and running away itself was high, but it's Denmark who used the hammer effectively. Facing 3, nose hit, they score 1 and will lead 1-0. score of 1 with a hammer. Denmark get us going in N2. Christian KARGER looking to cover up the top of the rings with a guard. Dragging this one in. It's going to be in the 12.
And Japan could ignore that and put up their corner, but they're choosing just to remove it.
Like to hit this and roll off to one of the sides if they can. Swept for line, hold it, so it rolls off to the left. Very good shot. Well played, Chihiro.
Yeah, Denmark have had 2 wins in the group, beating Slovakia and Estonia, and they lost to Austria, Netherlands and Norway.
Like to try and keep that one in play if he can do. Just needs to settle his nerves a little bit, Christian. Running this display fiercely, it's one level down from the sort of elite curling that we see, so we will see a few more half shots than we sometimes see. But do you just continue playing conventional tactics, or do you kind of expect?
Yeah, and I think all skips know the strengths of their team, and they'll play their tactics accordingly. But you still want to get the guards in play when you've got last stone and try and generate multiple ends. And that guard's just slipping into the house.
Neither team just prepared to gamble too much at the start of the second end.
Yeah, and remembering that these games are just 8 ends. The 8 ends go quite quickly. So if you can score early on, then go for it. So here we see Japan using that as a guard, coming around. Japan have just dropped that 1 game in the section to Norway. So they've had a good week, and they know they've qualified for the next stage, and they want to come out here with a really good performance and maybe try different things that they haven't tried during the week. So the weight looks great, but just high of line, hasn't buried.
It could have come 3 or 4 inches closer to that guard and got in behind. Denmark can see the stone and a little gap in between it, so the room for the roll.
Now they're trying to roll away from the guard, try and take that attention away from the corner for Japan. Didn't roll as far as they'd have liked, so Japan now will try the hit and roll.
Try and get under that yellow guard. The yellow guard is really close to the wings, of course, so any run back is going to be pretty short. Still got to be made.
Oh, this one's just over curled, hit it on the nose.
Both teams just not quite getting the ice or the delivery right for the roll. Oh, careful, almost lost one. So every time there's a nose hit, of course, the stone moves further up the rings, which if they do and then get the roll behind, makes the run back even shorter. This time trying to use the big sweeper to curl it. Oh.
Yeah, that was a lot heavier weight thrown there.
So patience has worked for Japan. The first mistake of the end came from Denmark. So ideally would like to lie 2 with its maximum separation, so that this should be an in-turn draw across to the right hand side as we look down there. Come off the centre and across. They need to go on this one though. Has this got the weight?
It just needs to touch the paint. Comes up short. There's another corner guard, but at this stage in the end, they wanted to lie 2.
Yes, this stage, the end of this stage of the competition, you would have thought that should have been pretty routine. Anywhere in the rings on that other side would have been useful. However, short it is. So second chance for Liam. Oh no!
Head in his hands, not a good sign.
I've seen that from players that I've played with, usually when they're playing with me. But oh no, he's done the same again. He's just touched it.
Oh no, in behind the guard. Oh my goodness.
Maybe that's been the story of their week. Not got a winning record, maybe just not quite getting the brush position right or the delivery right.
And also he's throwing these hits much harder. So this is a great chance now for Japan. They've got last stone. If they can get one in behind the guard, lie 2, then Denmark in a bit of trouble. So left-hander coming out the other hack. Trying to bury in behind. It's looking really nice. Oh!
Just catches the guard, but the weight was about right. If they just got the bite of the front one, it's going to be tight, that isn't it?
And I can Denmark see enough of that on the out-turn. They can see enough to hit and roll out, but they don't want to roll out and leave that draw again for Japan. So Denmark could come around first. Lie shot.
Come around the centre line side and round the red. Nice and up, so it looks like the call.
And they just saw Japan's coming down there. The weight would have been enough to reach the house if it hadn't touched the guard, so Denmark saw the line. But with that red guard so close to the rings, you're in your head consciously thinking, I can't be tight because I don't want to touch that.
Karolina Jensen looking to get Denmark out of a little bit of a hole here. It needs to find T-line weight.
It's past the guard. Has it got the weight? Dragging it in as far as it can. Oh, well swept.
Yeah, really well swept. They just got the weight, not they'd liked it deeper than that one, but it's in play, and it asks the question right now. Okay. So thank you to the team for that one.
Yeah, thanks, sweepers. Yeah, all 4 people in the team so involved in every shot. The player throwing, the 2 sweepers, and the person in the head calling line. Quite a short run back here for Japan.
Quite a bit of ice. ICHITSUBO Shun.
Yeah, chance here to lie to and be guarded. Just got it slightly on the high side, but that's okay. They do lie to.
Yeah, that was the first job, wasn't it, to make sure you lay the 2. So can't afford to nose this, so has to play the slash double at this, which is there, but I don't think you'd hold the yellow unless she's really quiet weight. Did a double with her last stone in the first end, needs to do the same with her last stone in the second end. Japan will have the right to reply. To come at pace to get this double takeout. Gets the angle on the first one, just misses the back one. Too much on the nose, leaves Japan lying 1. They will have the chance to draw for the extra point. Needed to be further to the left in that double takeout to hit the back one. So Japan will have the chance for 2.
Yep, just need to be fully in the 12 foot. So, as we say, the bread and butter shot for your 4-stone thrower.
It's a Shun showing the last stone off end 2, looking to score an extra point. These are the critical ones, aren't they? You've done all the hard work to create this chance. Now you've got to convert it. The sweepers are not involved so far for weight.
Looks okay.
That's the way to throw it. Right to the tee line. Keep the sweepers fresh. Beautiful draw by Shun. Japan score 2. 2 ends played. They lead 2-1. So we are underway with N3, like you said, Ronan. These 8 games go pretty quickly. 2 ends played very quickly. We try and keep up with the pace. Japan lead 2-1. And they've accidentally thrown a corner guard.
Yeah, right now, Denmark will be quite thankful for that.
Just came off the line. I think she looked a little tight from release. Certainly couldn't hold that one. So weight was ideal, but obviously it's curled. So can Denmark take advantage? Japan have probably had the better of the first 2 ends.
Working this one hard, trying to get it in behind the cover. The line's nice, plenty of rotation. great sweep. Well done.
Yep. Anyway, nice team shot there. Really good throw, and just use the sweepers to get it nice. It's quite high in the rings, so it favours Denmark. Chihiro trying to follow this with a little bit of running. Catches her own guard, takes that one out of play. She's allowed to hit that one off. It wasn't on the center tape and it's her own colour, so she's allowed to move that.
And to be fair, that wasn't a bad result. Japan were looking for that centre guard initially, put up the corner, but it opens up that yellow shot stone.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to get caught with following the corner guard and making more mistakes around it. Seeing the stones pile up. So.
Christian had a good weight with his first. Wants to get this one in behind cover. Oh dear. That one's light of weight. Sweepers weren't able to get that into the house.
Yeah, it's just these little small chances that begin to build up and eventually they'll cost you eventually. Really didn't have to be really very close to that guard this early in the end. Just lay the two and see what develops.
Oh, this looks like a lovely hit and roll.
Yeah, they've rolled that in behind those two guards now from quite far out. So good throw. Likes to sweep this number 2 for Japan, HASEGAWA. Managed to get enough action off the stone, so they've rolled it right behind the guards, right onto the tee line, so Denmark having to chase. Hold this if they can. Oh, just flicks the guard again, 2 in a row.
Yeah, the weight was great there. Just tight of line. So ideally Japan, if they can come half round the guards that are there, bring that counter into the house, but choosing to play the hit, which is, I suppose, safe. But now that allows Denmark to come in, whereas if Japan had come into the top 12, half round the guard, Denmark were in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, instead of lying T and in front, they're now T and behind, which just completely changes the pressure point for Denmark. So with that guard out the way a little, can sort of bump at this. Again, trying to hold this for a line, though. It's getting pretty close to the guard again.
Oh, just feathered it.
3 in a row.
And now Japan definitely will put up the guard. There is a good swing in the ice, and if you just start your handle at all in the way, it goes and the sweepers aren't able to hold it.
Anywhere in front of these two reds in the rings will be okay. Don't want to be too short. To turn the screw a little bit here. So again,
Want to cross that centre line. Very well swept. Is there a hole, Alan?
yeah, I think so. I think they didn't really want guard weight, and they did anywhere in line. I think they would like to even just sort of the bottom of that logo sign down where the lettering is. That would have been closer and cut down that gap. Karolina Jensen might have a shot through this. I think you'd have to go for it because worst case you open the guards up.
Yeah, you could actually remove the red and the yellow guard if you just feathered. But I think that hole's there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Are you a betting woman, Rona?
It's tight, but it's there. He wants to make up for his two at the last end where he was wide. And this one's looking wide as well. Oh.
Yeah, just not getting maybe as much curl with his throws. Maybe just throws him a little bit harder than the rest of the team. Change. Just never quite got the stone moving enough. Catches the yellow, runs through. Japan look to fill that gap.
Yeah, now they can block that anywhere.
See the curl in the ice there, edge of the circle coming all the way across. Fairly big margin for error here, just trying to block the gap, which is about 2.5 stones wide. So somewhere into the gap.
Yeah, really the guard could be anywhere from hog to house as long as that hole's filled. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I don't think it has. I think that gap's still there. Certainly very tempting.
Not to nose maybe, but certainly to the outside of the top stone.
You could even play a hack weight through there to try and come across.
Yeah, I think that would be the weight to play. I think just quiet strike, hack weight. Call it and then just bump off the top one and keep your yellow as the first counter.
Especially because Liam has been really overthrowing these hits. If he drops his weight. Try and get the line right.
Inside super this time, trying to hold this for line. He's made the gap.
Oh, great shot.
Really good, gets both reds almost away, but more importantly, lies the shot. Well played, Liam.
Passed by lots of room there. Yeah, just unlucky that second red didn't go out. Certainly the scoring area is much more open for Denmark now.
Japan could have been more aggressive and tried to come around the guards, but instead would like to get first Danish counter away, which they do. The small inside rolls. They do lie two. There's one just clinging on at the back. Maybe not prepared to gamble with that stone. Guards to come with his last, presumably.
So here's a chance now. Denmark, they still want to try and score two here. So if they can get round that cover, buried, top four, and really ask the question of Japan.
Quite a lot of room behind this. And his guards, if they get top four, like you say. Sweepers seem happy with the weight call. Just getting the line right now.
They want to bury this as much as they can, even if they take it back. Wants to bury it. Really good effort. Just back tee. Although it's back tee and you think, well, Japan can just freeze that, they've still got to play it. They have to make this shot. They can't afford to rub off. They can't afford to come up short.
Yeah, can't afford to catch the guard if it's coming up that way as well. So a few things, but they have elected to freeze right on the face of this yellow. Back of the on foot, just on the lettering. And if it does go there, it will be tough for Denmark.
And that's where Denmark could have been actually sweeping that a wee bit more to bring it back to the back of the 4, because if Japan freeze it there, you've still got room to follow. Whereas right now Japan could freeze this and Denmark can't get shot stone. But that's where that communication with the sweepers is so crucial to the person in the head. Sweeper standing off this one though.
Yeah, just hoping this will curl and grab a little, but it's looking a little hot. Doesn't even touch the yellow stone, runs by it.
So that great draw from Jensen just needs another one. And that's the difference, Alan, in this end, the whole end. Denmark have been chasing Japan, but just wrong stone positioning from Japan with the guards and let Denmark in.
Yeah, quite careless actually with that guard. It really had quite a lot of margin for error to close the gap, and he didn't make it. And then turned the end around. So last stone, third end. Denmark have an open draw for the extra point to score 2. Quite a lot of room, just been down this path. And it goes, looking very nice. Here it comes.
It needs to stop.
Yellow backing. There's a red one behind it, but
oh no!
oh dear, it's a huge overthrow, big mistake. Just the one. Chance gone for Denmark to take the lead. They will score, but now it's 2-2 after 3. But Japan will have the hammer. Frustration all round. Denmark, who did score in the third to level up the game, that they did waste a chance to maybe take the lead. However, they'll put that behind them. Centre guard in play by Christian KARGER. Tokoyoda Chihiro electing to come round this centre guard. Call the race to the forefoot has started. They come on a little early, but
very well placed though. Top of that one foot. And she's smiling. He's happy.
Denmark probably quite happy that the game is coming to the middle this early, but having said that, we don't want to get into too much difficulty with the weight of stones around. Really good freeze there. Not quite in line.
It was a really nice weight. Yeah, and this is where Japan would want to play like a back four weight. Just come down, tap the yellow onto the red, split the red a bit and sit in front of the yellow. And these are these set-up shots that Leeds need to play time and time again.
Yeah, just come down, just punch this a little, but really on the low side if you can. Just change the angles round.
Just get to the nose. Pretty nice. Just kind of lost it a fraction at the end there, but still a great result.
These touch and finesse shots, just moving stones around, but almost that mixed double style, isn't it, at this stage, just moving stones around, trying to create something you can use later.
Yeah, it's all about the setup and what chances you're creating for your skip later on in the end. So that one was a fraction heavy. It does give Japan the chance to lift a double on the yellows. Didn't lift the double, came over curled.
Yeah, came off a little low on that one. Only picked off one and crashed into their own red one. There's the yellow behind the tee. So this one curling, trying to hold it, but it's thin. Japan's do still have a control of the top of the forefoot, but not as strongly as they were maybe if they made the double.
Yeah, they have that control, and this is where, because of that, Denmark want to come right in and freeze on top. Sweepers on this one early for weight.
Try and get onto the face of the red one.
It's looking okay. Don't want to catch it in the high side. Very nice. Great shot.
Yeah, very good there. You can see locked and lined up.
So it is a game of cat and mouse right now. Now Japan will try and tap yellow onto red, onto the yellow. And they want to sit in front,
Yeah.
so...
Again, it's Japan who wants, they need to make space, don't they? Unless they're a team that are quite happy to steal, they want to try and get their multiples.
It's all about setting up the angles here. This one's looking a bit speedy.
Want to tap the, unlock the red, tap it forward a little. Just going to glance. Yeah, it's one of that little fatter, just too thin.
Yeah, it's not a bad result when Japan have got last stone. They are still controlling with 3 stones in the house, and the one top of the 4 is behind cover. So if Denmark can just tap their yellow up to freeze the red.
Yep, just its nose, or even just 1 centimetre low of the nose, looks like you'll get past the back red, or the red beside it rather. Move this forward, just tighten up the zone.
Liam played a lot of hits, but this is a delicate tap. Oh, very nice, great shot.
Yeah, very good. Actually didn't hit the red one on the top, so kept the line up straight. And now Japan, very difficult. They can use this side one. Just the scoring zone is getting so tight now.
Yeah, they've got to navigate past this top yellow guard. They can see enough of the red though. If they just come round at just even a back ring to hack weight. All they need to do is punch the yellow to the back of the 4. They don't have to remove it from play. Because what's key here, Alan, is when they angle the red across, they want to keep that red on the button. They don't want it to spin off and leave that nest then for Denmark.
Yeah, so just the contact is key, as you see. When to land it perfectly. It's really tight though. And then now what's going to happen?
Plan B.
You're generous.
Oh.
So not really the weight, I don't think, and maybe just offline. It's come up, created quite a nest there.
It has.
Does it favour Denmark, or does it favour Japan? I think it probably favours Denmark. They can make a play on the front yellow.
They could tap that yellow again. They have to be careful, that yellow on the right hand side now. Japan could come off it thin to punch the red. If I was Denmark, I would quite like to just tap the yellow up and have a second one in there. Make it even harder for Japan.
So you can tap it straight, or you can tap it maybe in behind the red that's exposed at the top left. It's out of play. Very similar shot to what Liam Goldbeck just played. T-weight tap up. Slightly thinner on line this one. Have they got it right?
Yeah, it's really not bad there. Just overcurled a fraction. The weight was great, but Japan were always going to play down this other side. But they've got one chance at this. They have to make it. They can glance off the top yellow onto the red, or they could come round. The guard's quite high, so there's plenty of room to pass it and just tap the red.
The yellow just at sort of 10 o'clock as we look from above is just a hindrance, isn't it? It's really difficult to get inside it.
You've virtually got to glance it. But from that ice that they're taking, yeah, they're going to try and come through the gap, past the yellow and just angle the red.
Careful not to hit too much of the nose of the red one, just and slide past the shot. This is delicate. Hase Hinako, this is kind of key in this end.
Played a nice controlled weight here. Really nice.
Very good, just weight was beautiful. Knocked the shot stone off the button and then used the running stone as a guard.
Yeah, and that's the problem now for Denmark, because their last one over curled. It's not, the tap up's not as easy. You could roll off that red on the side. You can see here just how well played. You had to miss that by that much. Like it was a millimetre.
Yeah, any flick on that yellow and the trajectory changes, and it doesn't do that, but to come that tight, and then, as I say, to keep the red as a guard in front of it is pretty much perfect. So.
They could come off the red on the right hand side as we're looking at it, where that brush is. Come off that, bounce off the, as we call around the horn, off the yellows and back up to the button.
Yeah, that's the one the crowds want to see. I think lots of stones moving, and then it, off this red, got so many stones that you can use to get back to the button. You almost to see the stone coming back towards the deliverer.
Because it's such a nice nest if you can get in there to that button. It'll be very hard for Japan to move it.
Yeah, so worth playing now. This isn't last stone, is it? This is number 7. Would you worth playing now?
Yeah, definitely. You don't think they're playing much weight at this. Got to be in the inside.
Yeah, if they called that shot, are they just playing for the little short tap up still? I don't think she's gone for the glory shot, Rona.
Just trying to nick the
yellow
behind.
Quarter stone, just push it in safe and then rest against this.
Oh, well, there we go.
Beautifully played.
Beautiful shot. Didn't need to go round the horn. She could see enough of the yellow, go for the skinny tap.
Yeah, just taps it onto the button. The downside being that the red top left is still very much usable.
You can see how much this passes the top yellow by. Not a lot. Just hit it perfectly. If we're really pernickety there, if they'd caught it slightly thinner, it would have gone over onto the, be half checking the red, so it'd be harder for Japan to move this.
Yeah.
But this is Japan's only out here, is to play this run on the red back. But they have played this line and the weight.
Yeah, very similar shot just played, so half stone on the red. To the left of the brush as we see it. Trying to hold this one for line. It needs to get past the guard first of all. So that's done. Now where does red to red go?
So that yellow is lying short, but my goodness, it's lonely.
Yeah, it's got a few ways to...
Japan lying second and third.
Yeah, and the red one that's a little bit more visible now if ICHITSUBO chose to play that.
So what happens if Denmark guard that red?
Yeah, guard that red. I think...
Can Japan come off those yellows? Are they too far back?
They could play they could come off the yellow-red frozen on the left-hand side there. Created a bit of space. Denmark could take that out by playing that shot themselves now.
I think so. If they can hit and roll over, they could lie too. The thing is, this red plant for Japan's not easy because the red's half checking the yellow. It's not an easy tap for Japan.
Yeah, they're guarding. They're going to guard this one. They're just taking ice to guard the side that Japan have been playing on.
Yeah, that in-off looks very tempting for Japan.
would be for 1 though, wouldn't it?
Yes, because the yellow would jam on the
yeah,
red.
whereas I think that on this side, Japan could have a shot for 2, maybe even a 3. So this is the right hand to guard, I think. Still looking to just get something in line. That looks pretty good. Can Japan still get to the red? If they were to come really tight into the guard, could they get to the red still? I'm not sure.
No. That's a really well placed guard. I'm looking at this yellow on the centre line, but
on the nose ish.
I think they're just trying to, because they're lying second, third and maybe fourth, they're just thinking, well, could we lift the doubles and the yellows? But it's too tight to the guard.
Yeah, you'd have to curl after it. You'd have to come tight the guard and then continue to curl, which it would do, but it's really tough to read.
I think the in-off looks the easier shot.
Yeah, just roll in. The yellow stone that covers the button would jam. One certain actual fact, they think that they can slash this yellow in hard. So the yellow by the brush, less than half stone. Onto the red, onto the yellow.
And the yellow's likely to jam on the back yellows on the right hand side, but that's okay. They would still get shot. It's a tough shot for 1.
Yeah, it's just, you can't see much of that yellow from the right-hander's hack. He's having to throw it into space. And it has to be thin. So this is the last stone of the 4th end. It's not going to be a blank. Makes contact, the yellow, and does the job actually.
I don't know, it's 1 to Denmark.
Is it 1 to Denmark? Oh, just that back when just the brush was in the way. I think he's left the yellow lying.
Yep, always the danger. It would spin off.
Yeah, all those stones at the back of the 4-foot were tricky to navigate, so it's a steal of 1 to Denmark in the 4th. There were a lot of stones in play. Vital tap up by Jensen created the chance. Denmark take it. They lead 3-2 after 4 ends at the halfway break.